Alright, video game warriors, welcome back to our Ninja Gaiden 4 comprehensive walkthrough series. Hopefully doing alright. This is chapter 9. Let's get cracking. We've got a lot to do. So first of all, we're going to grab this treasure chest behind us. And then let's push on forward. There's loads and loads of bits and bobs to do in this chapter. Loads of treasure chests. We've got another one just on the right there, and then we've got another one on the right there again, another one on the left, and then another one. If we jump down this section, there's one here, but some enemies will jump in, so we'll just give these guys the old ultimate treatment. And we've got two Gourdies to grab. We've got a Purgatory Gate to smash through, and if memory serves, this mission also has a boss fight, which is quite a tricky boss fight, to be totally fair. So we're going to grab this chest against the wall there with a divine life elixir inside, and then we're going to work our way back up, grapple up, and then wall run, and jump over here. I'm just going to point out, if there are some enemies waiting for you near that wall run just there, it might be worth doing the flying swallow attack, because sometimes what can happen is those enemies will kind of just like wait by the ledge, and then they'll just like shoot the poison stuff at you and it'll just knock you back. So if that is the scenario, then use flying swallow to get past them. We've got another treasure chest here with a life elixir inside. Let's push on forward, and then we're going to jump down here. RB, RB, and RB. Cheeky little assassination there. And then we'll just smash through this section. I think on this level what I might do is use a bunch of attack increase items. Just to smash through it. There's loads and loads of fights on this chapter, so yeah, I might be chugging some potions and lotions and attack increase stuff like as we work our way through this chapter. I'm gonna steal that blood essence and go for ultimate level 2. Yeah, loads and loads of stuff to do on this chapter. Hopefully you're enjoying Ninja Gaiden 4 so far, video game warriors. Let me know in the comments, how you're getting on with the game. What's your favourite weapon to use at the minute? The staff, is that your jam? Or perhaps the rapier, or perhaps the dual swords. We've got Berserk, so you know what? Let's go Berserk. Why not? I think there might be some more enemies that actually jump in here, to be totally fair. Yes, I'm going to go for the finisher. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just a couple of these bad boys. Yeah, so let us know, video game warriors, how you're getting on. What's your favourite obliteration animation so far? We've still got another weapon to get yet, which we'll get a little bit later on through the playthrough. Give these guys the old 1-2. Might pop another attack potion. Let's just go for it, so we can smash through these enemies. That guy's gone flying. Also, I just want to say thank you if you've been, watching the Ninja Gaiden 4 series and you've made it this far. You've smashed through loads and loads of chapters. You're truly dedicated to your video game training. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much for watching these Ninja Gaiden videos. We've got a chest here, so let's bash that open. Life elixir inside. Chest here, divine life elixir inside. So that is that. Then we're going to push on forward. I'm just double checking here. There's loads of areas like this all the way through this chapter, and some areas have 2 chests and some have 3, and they all look very, very similar, so I'm just double checking that we've got all the bits and bobs. So pushing on forward, this bit kind of like opens up to a few different ways that we can go. We'll jump onto this middle island first, and then we'll just get chipping away at this portal thing. This guy wants a hug. Not today, sir. Not today. We'll use that for ultimate technique level 2. Give these guys the old one too. I think I've mentioned it in a previous chapter perhaps, but I have also covered Ninja Gaiden 1, Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden 3. So feel free to check those videos out if you fancy it on my channel. We've got a treasure chest there, so that one is Rejuvenation Elixir. We've got the second treasure chest there, which is Life Elixir. And then we've got the third one here, which is Iron Brew. So from this middle island, the game wants us to go that way, like, you know, slide underneath that thing there. But there's loads of different ways that we can go. So what I'm going to do is just go around the edges of this cave and just make sure we've got all the stuff. So first of all, we're going to head down this little section here. There's a treasure chest against the rock with a divine life elixir inside. We've got a purgatory gate up there, and we have a little scene thing here, which I thought was quite cool. Like these little things, like watching TV or something. And we've got the TV on here, which I thought was quite cool. Maybe get some screenshots and stuff there. And then we've got a purgatory gate, so we're going to jump on in to this bad boy. Like I always say with the purgatory gates, it doesn't really matter if you use loads of items inside purgatory or you are defeated loads of times inside purgatory. It's not going to affect your end of level score if you're going for a really, really high score. But I'm going to use, on this chapter, I'm just going to use loads and loads of items just to smash through. So on that note, I'm going to use that, and that to get things popping here. Let's jump into the action. But yeah, let us know, video game warriors, if this is your first Ninja Gaiden game. Maybe you've played loads of Ninja Gaiden games. Let us know in the comments. Have you played Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which released a few months back in 2025? If you've got a favourite one, perhaps. I don't think I know what my favourite Ninja Gaiden is at the minute, to be totally honest, because it was Ninja Gaiden 2, and then I played Ninja Gaiden 3, and I kind of fell in love with the combat of Ninja Gaiden 3. It's just so savage. But then I think this just takes it up a notch again. Oh, there's a thing here. Didn't actually realise it was here. So I think maybe this one could make it to my favourite, although I do like the level design settings of Ninja Gaiden 2 specifically. Like, I think Ninja Gaiden 2, this guy's just hugged us out of a bloodbath kill. Savage. Savage. He gave us a hug and said the answer is love. But I'm like, no. I'm sorry, but it's not. The answer is dual swords. But yeah, as I was saying before we got rudely interrupted by a hug. I like the level designs of Ninja Gaiden 2 specifically. I think it just looks really cool. These fish. Back with a vengeance. And also in Ninja Gaiden 2, they've got like the underworld section, like the fiend underworld type place, and I just think that looks really cool. Not that like Ninja Gaiden 4 underworld looks bad or anything. I think it still looks good. I just really like the looks of like the Ninja Gaiden 2 underworld. I think it just looks cool. But yeah, let us know in the comments, you know, what your favourite is, if you've got a favourite weapon from the series or anything like that. I remember using like a boatload of the Eclipse Scythe, especially in Ninja Gaiden 3, because it's just so powerful. I'm going to try for an ultimate, but we might get knocked out of it. Let's go for it. We've got Berserk, so let's go for it. The old ground pound. The old ground pound again. The old ground pound again. Go for a finisher, see if we can... I mean, it must be a bit overkill for one fish, but we'll go for it anyway. We'll try for an ultimate, nice. But then there's also some like really cool Ayane levels in Ninja Gaiden 3. And when I talk about Ninja Gaiden 3, I'm talking specifically about Razor's Edge. That's the only version that I've played of it. I've not played a different version, just the Razor's Edge. But yeah, I thought the Ayane levels in Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge were really, really fun. Just going to take this out. If we can get ultimate, I'll do. Nice. And like I mentioned earlier, if you've not played the other Ninja Gaiden games, I would highly recommend smashing through them, for sure. And as I mentioned on a previous chapter, I'm just going to smash through these potions here. It's all good. We'll stock up in a minute when we get to a shop. Oh, nice. What a brutal finishing animation there. Awesome. Yeah, what I was saying is, if you want me to do like a walkthrough series or some kind of guide series of some kind, and do some videos for Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, then absolutely let me know in the comments. Definitely a game I'd be happy to check out. However, other than that, that's that area sorted. So we're going to head back towards the middle island, and just what we ideally need to do is kind of just like scout out the edges of this section just to make sure we've got everything. So this is the section where we sort of entered here, and then if we follow this around to this section, we've got a few more bits and bobs that we can grab, so let's go for it. Gonna go for the dual swords here, I think. Give these guys the old 1-2. But yeah, like I say, the Ragebound game does look awesome, and I've got a lot of love for the developers of Ragebound, which I believe the development team is called the Game Kitchen. I could be mistaken, but I think it's Game Kitchen, and they did Blasphemous and Blasphemous 2. We've got a treasure chest here, so let's smash that open with a life elixir inside. Okay, so let's get back to scouting out this area. So that's all sorted. We've got the treasure chest. Let's just follow this round. Got another section here. I think there's a treasure chest down the back of this bit. Yes, so we've got a rejuvenation elixir inside that treasure chest. Some enemies have jumped in, but you can just completely ignore them if you want to. And then this is the way to go. I'm just going to double check that we've got all the stuff. Yep. And we've got all that. Got all that. Got all that. So we're going to slide on under this section next and land on this sort of like central island. And we'll clear this bit out. We can get some assassinations in here, Tenchu stealth assassin style. So let's absolutely go for it. That's another banger game. I know I mentioned it in a previous episode, but Tenchu Stealth Assassins, please play it if you've not played it. It's just one of my favourite game series of all time. Hashtag bring back Tenchu. Hopefully From Software brings back Tenchu one day. Treasure chest here with rejuvenation elixir inside. And then we've got another one over this side with a divine life elixir. Just going to double check this section because, like I mentioned earlier, there are some areas like this that have 2 chests and some that have 3. So I'm just double checking we've got all the stuff. Yep, so a couple of different ways that we can go. Let's, first of all, we'll go down here. Follow this round. A few enemies want to party. I was praying that we would get that attack off before the fish chomped on us. Nice. What a brutal animation. That's one of my favourites as well. So treasure chest here, let's grab that. So that's going to give us a vitality increase. Nice, nice. So we shall grab that. Let's have a look to see what else is knocking about around here. That's also restored our health, which worked out pretty well. Treasure chest 2. This one's Crimson Blood Balm in there. Let's just double check. So we've got chest 1, chest 2. So that is that. Now we're going to head back towards the central island. Just get our bearings. So that's where we went down to get those 2 chests we just got. I'm going to follow this round. That's where we entered this section. That's a ramp to the next section. I was not expecting an assassination there, but I will happily accept it. Brilliant. Let's see if we can get a... Some of the screenshots on this are just so good. I think I'm going to have to get that one. Nice. Brutal, brutal. Could have got another one there, to be fair. That animation is so cool. Anyway, we're going to get this treasure chest. So this is Incense of Rebirth, converted to Ninja Coin. So other than that, I think that's this section kind of sorted. Just going to double check, have a little bit of a cheeky surf around. So that's that. That's where we came in. That's where we got those extra bits and bobs. And then I think it's just over the ramp. So let's go over the ramp, jump over this, just press A as we get onto it, and then we're kind of going to do a little bit of a backtrack over to this section, grapple on up and follow this round. We're going to jump on into this wind current, and then on here we've got a treasure chest, so bash that open. We've got a divine life elixir, and then hidden behind this doodah we have a Gourdie. So that is Gourdie 1 of 2 for this chapter. I don't think there's anything else knocking about. So we're going to grapple on up, jump on down, RB to surf up, and then we're going to slide on under. I think I mentioned it in the previous chapter, but it always reminds me of Turtles in Time. I just love that music track on the sewer surfing. I think the music track on Turtles in Time is called Sewer Surfing. If you get a chance, check it out. Just type it into YouTube or something. Listen to the Sewer Surfing track. It's just so good. Anyway, we're gonna sort of like follow, retrace our steps here back to this kind of like purple crystal type location. And then we're going to head on down. The boss is going to go that way. We're just going to go left, grab this treasure chest, divine life elixir inside. Just double checking we've got all the stuff, and there's no hidden treasure chests knocking around here. No, I think we're good. So we've got one of these big fiends. You can... you have like a decent chance of getting perfect blocks against these enemies. They've got quite slow attacks. A lot of the time the ultimate techniques won't connect with these enemies unless... I mean, we just got one then, but it was like... because the enemy was like in the middle of an attack animation and he didn't have his defenses up. So if that is the scenario, then at that point you can then get in your ultimate, it will connect at that point, but if he's just kind of like chilling or walking or something, it's most likely going to deny your ultimate attack. I also wanted to mention that you can jump on his head. It does stun him for a good like 2 seconds or so. It's got quite a decent stun time just by jumping on the head, so absolutely go for it if you wanted a cheeky bit of extra stun time. So that is that. I'm not sure if we can get an obliteration on him. Oh no, he's already gone, so it's all good. Right, so that is that area cleaned up. Enemies destroyed. Just double checking for treasure chests because there's loads of areas that look exactly the same on this chapter, so just makes it tricky to remember like which sections are which. But anyway, that's that sorted out. There are some treasure chests up the top, so we're going to grab chest number 1, which has Divine Life Elixir, and then we've got chest number 2, which has got Life Elixir. So that is that. I'm going to jump on over. There is a treasure chest a little bit later, which is quite missable. So we need to pay attention to that a little bit later. I think it's towards the very end of this chapter, but there's a bit where you do like some of the wind current stuff, and you like ninja, you know, you do that sort of like ninja fall down animation, and you have to like land on a specific piece of land to get the chest. Anyway, there's a life elixir just here on the right before proceeding forward, and then we're gonna jump on over, smash through the interdimensional portal back into the scene from Blade, the Blood Rave. Fantastic film. We're going to jump on down. There's some enemies up the top, so we're going to RB first of all to jump up top, because these enemies up here basically just sit there and like spit the green poison acid type stuff at you down below, and it's just annoying. So give these guys the old 1-2. Opting for the rapier here. That is that. So that's the top section cleared by the looks of it. So now we can jump on down, and we'll try for some ultimates. Ideally we could do with a berserk at this point, but I'm going to hold down right trigger after this. I'm going to do a couple of shuffles over this way, and hopefully we'll get some blood essence, but the answer was no. We was denied blood essence, so it did not help us in our time of need. But now we should be able to grab some, so I'm going to go this way a little bit, get the blood essence, go for the charge. Nice. Give these guys the old 1-2. This guy wants a hug. Not today, sir, not today. Brutal. 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 Great screenshot opportunities there. Anyway, what we're going to do next, it looks like we've cleared out that section. So up the top section here, there is a treasure chest with a life elixir against this kind of like top corner. And we're going to jump on down. And I think we're clear, so we're going to smash on through these doors. And Disco in Tokyo. Head on down here. We've got a terminal. Let's have a look what we can grab here. So I'm going to stock up on some supplies and stuff. Like I say, on this chapter I'm probably going to be smashing through a fair amount of items and stuff. So I'm not really too fussed about like the end of level score or anything, so it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter to me. So yeah, let's grab all those. Mission database. Let's check the missions. We've got use the staff weapon to defeat 15 fish, so we can hand that bad boy in. and get a reward for that. We've got find the currency. We can now hand that in. Feels like it's been ages since we've been at a terminal here. Execute. So these are new missions we can grab. Execute the enormous fiends. Find 3 beautiful minerals. Execute the miscreant. So we'll pick those up. We can talk with Umi here as well. So let's chat with Umi real quick. And then we can probably also speak with Tyron here as well. So let's have a chat. Make sure to pick up the skills and stuff from Tyron if you haven't already. Especially the extra accessory slot and the extra block. Also, video game warriors. I have released my own video game on Steam called Loki the Lynx, 2D platformer collectathon, where you've got to collect shiny coins and collect shiny keys and rescue Loki's friends from the dastardly Dr. Amygdala. If you enjoy my videos and you enjoy my content and stuff like that, then do consider buying Loki the Lynx on Steam and popping it a positive review. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment and a link in the video description as well if you want to pop over and check it out. Thank you very much if you do. Right. So we've got a mission to do. We're going to head in this direction, up the ladders and through these doors. This fight can be a little bit of a spicy one. A lot of the time with this fight, we want to fight him how we fought like the first few enemies in the first few chapters, which was essentially use a Blood Raven and then a few base attacks. Use a Blood Raven and then a few base attacks, and just kind of keep rinse and repeating that really. Sometimes you may need to block. If he does this sort of like ranged attack, you want to sort of like dodge to the side to avoid it. If he goes into his defensive mode, just be careful of his attacks that will be heading towards you. You potentially might be able to get an ultimate, but I'm not sure if this is any good or not, to be totally honest. Seems alright. Need to be careful. So Blood Raven and then standard attacks. Blood Raven and a standard attacks. I'm going to play it safe and use a potion here. Blood Raven and then standard attacks. A lot of the time it's just Blood Raven and then standard attacks on this guy. Not sure if you can get it. Izuna Ninja drop. Got a parry there. He blocks it mid-air, so perhaps not. But yeah, for the most part it's basically just Blood Raven to break the defenses and then just follow it up with some base attacks, and you should be good there on that enemy. So that is that mission. We're going to jump on down, and because we've got a mission terminal here, we can just basically hand the mission in straight away and get the reward for that. So execute the miscreant, some ninja coin, nice. And then just stock up on any lotions and potions that you might need, because there's still a fair amount to do on this chapter. It's like I mentioned, it is a bit of a beast chapter, and we'll be heading back into the underworld in a sec as well. And like I mentioned a little bit earlier, there is also a boss fight which can be quite spicy, to be totally fair. We've also got another Gourdie to grab and some other bits and bobs, so let's smash on through back into the Fiend realm. Right, so let's just get our bearings in this section. We don't have any treasure chests behind us. We've got some more surfing to do, so we're going to surf on over, jump on over here. Let's take out these enemies real quick. Give me a 1-2. Don't forget video game warriors that I've also got sort of like 7 years worth of YouTube videos uploaded to this channel. I've been making YouTube videos for 7 years. Loads of guides, hints, tips and tricks, walkthroughs, boss guides, beginner's guides, all sorts of, you know, hints and tips, mega mixes and stuff like that. So we just picked up a treasure chest here against these rocks. I'm just double checking because there is a section where we can jump up, but I think it might be a little bit later perhaps. Yeah, so just that treasure chest here against these rocks on the floor, and then we're gonna surf on forward, jump, RB, RB again to surf again. Follow this across. Let's take these enemies out. But yeah, there's loads and loads of videos I've got. I'll try and remember, but it's like 7 years worth of videos, so I can't remember every single video that I've done. But there is a Sekiro 100% walkthrough, which I highly recommend. Sekiro, if you get a chance, it's one of my favourite games ever. Definitely check that out. We've got a treasure chest here, just against this wall. Divine Life Elixir inside. What else we got? I think we are good for now, so we'll push on forward. Just double checking all the bits and bobs. We're going to ninja flip on up. And what have we here? So the game wants us to go that way. We're going to go the opposite way. Jump over. We've got a Gourdie. I think luckily it's facing the opposite way. Anyway, it's one of those purple ones, so just wait for the Gourdie to, you know, face the opposite way, and then when it does, jump over and press B from behind the Gourdie. There is also another treasure chest that's kind of like hidden away up this section, so you can sort of like grapple on up, pop that chest open. It's got a Divine Life Elixir inside. I have tried to go inside the waterfall, no luck however. Just hit my head on a wall, so we're going to wall run across, RB, RB, back on the surfboard. We want to pull left towards this like red light, or two red lights here. We've got a treasure chest just before the red lights, so grab that. Then we're going to jump on down and follow this around. We've got another treasure chest tucked away towards the left, and then we've got a mission item which is a beautiful mineral. So we're going to pick up that beautiful mineral, then we're going to surf on down this section. Just a bunch of RB here. Hold down forward, RB, jump, right trigger for a little dash mid-air to finish up that jump. And then we've got a mission. Execute the enormous fiends. See if we can get an ultimate. It's probably going to knock us away unless I wait for that. No, it's just completely denied us. Don't forget you can jump on the heads. Want to like stun them for a little while. It stuns them for a good while, to be totally fair. So you can get loads and loads of attacks in. These obliterations are so good. That's just absolutely brutal. I've got to get a screenshot of one of those. Crazy, crazy stuff. Just going to smash through the Blood Raven here. You can practice your perfect blocks on these enemies. I think like perfect blocking on these guys is a good place to practice it, for sure. So that's the mission done. Execute the doodahs. Then we can just smash on forward. So we're going to jump into the air, the wind current, and then again. I'm just trying to think what else I've covered. So Sekiro 100% walkthrough. I've recently just wrapped up a Lies of P comprehensive walkthrough series. Highly, highly recommend Lies of P. Very, very good Souls-like game. It's probably one of the best Souls-likes I've played, to be totally fair. It is very, very good. Just going to get rid of this fiend portal here. Yeah, Lies of P is very good. Highly recommend it if you get a chance to play it. I think what's good about it is like it takes kind of like Dark Souls as its base, and then it just does its own thing with the Souls-like formula. And I just think it works really, really well. So it kind of just like takes Dark Souls and then goes, right, let's change a few things here and do a few things here. And it's really, really fun. Anyway, the game wants us to go that way, towards that sort of magic looking thing over there. We are going to go up this ledge, run up. And I think there's a couple of chests. So we've got chest 1 that has rejuvenation elixir. Chest 2 that has life elixir. And then we've got beautiful mineral. So that is the second beautiful mineral on this chapter, and we need 3 in total. So 1 more. Next we're going to head in this direction and then jump on down. Jump over here. Right trigger. I'm not sure if I mentioned it yet in this chapter or not, but this is not the chapter that you need to avoid every obstacle during the surf section. So I just wanted to point that out. I think it's chapter 10 where you have to avoid all the obstacles during surfing. Well, it's not just during surfing, actually. It's during the whole mission itself. And there's other sections where you have to avoid collisions as well, such as like the ninja fall type sections as well. So here all I'm doing really is just heading around the back. Denied. Denied the ultimate. Terrible. But yeah, they've got like a fiend portal in this section, so I'm just smashing through that fiend portal real quick before. Not sure how we got an assassination there, but I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to accept it. Brilliant. Yeah, so nothing else too crazy in this segment. It's just a case of running through. RB, RB, RB. Then right trigger in midair to do a little dash. We've got a life elixir in a treasure chest here. Then we've got the last of the beautiful minerals. So that's 3 out of 3. This potentially is a missable treasure chest. It's like 2 wind currents back to back. It might be this one, so let's just have a look. I think it is. So we want to be pulling towards the left here, so make sure to pull left, forward and left, forward and left, forward and left. And yeah, you want, as long as you're sort of like pulling forward and left on that fall, you will land on this. This gives us major weapon experience points earnings increase. So obviously that's very, very useful. So yeah, you have to land on this section like via that ninja fall there, otherwise you'll miss it. And then we've got another treasure chest which is over there. We can get this a couple of different ways. You can either jump and fly and swallow and then just grab it, or there is another way. If you're down on this platform, you can go to sort of like the higher section of this platform, and then you can sort of like run dash, although the dash doesn't always play ball, as you can see. You have to kind of like get the thing at a good angle, and he runs up instead of sideways. There we go. Then you can grab the chest like so. So Incense of Rebirth in that bad boy. Other than that, we are good to go. We've got all the chests. We've got 2 Gourdies. We've smashed out the Purgatory Gate. So that is that. I'm not too fussed about item usage on this level, like I say, so I'm just going to smash through the attack increase items here so we can just obliterate these enemies real quick. So crack on through. what else have I covered? So Sekiro 100% walkthrough, fantastic game, highly recommend. Lies of P, fantastic Souls like, highly recommend. A long time ago I've done a Dark Souls 3 walkthrough. I've covered loads of Dark Souls 3 bosses. I've covered loads of Elden Ring bosses, although I've not done an Elden Ring walkthrough yet. Not sure if that's something that I might do one day. We shall see. I've done loads of videos on Tears of the Kingdom, which I highly recommend if you get a chance. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is such a great game. Absolutely love it. I'm going to go Berserk here. Give these guys the old 1-2. Go for the hammer time. So that is that. Yeah, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I've primarily, for Tears of the Kingdom, I've done boss guides, and I've done like sort of like hints, tips and tricks montages, or hints, tips and tricks megamix videos. I've done loads of those. I'm just brain scanning this section. I think we are good to go, so we'll push on forward. Just trying to think of all the games that are on the channel. But yeah, let me know, video game warriors, if you played those games yourself. Have you played Sekiro? Have you played Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? You know, if you have, what do you think to it? Let us know in the comments. So here, we want to go inside this thing first. So this will kind of like teleport us across to this kind of like final little, I guess, like check-in, and then we have a boss pretty much straight after this bit. So what I might do for the boss is just double check all the stuff that we've got and maybe learn some weapon skills and stuff while we are here. So let's just hand in the missions first. I think we might get something from handing in some missions. Going to stock up on your lotions and potions. We'll probably use those on the boss fight. Let's have a look at the missions. So execute the enormous fiends. We get a diamond ring. I think that's quite useful for this boss, to be totally fair. Find 3 beautiful minerals. We get a herb for that. Nice one. Sounds good. So that is that. And so we get a max vitality increase as well. Awesome. Awesome. And we'll just check. What we'll probably do is slap on that diamond ring, which is like a major defense increase for this boss. This boss can hit like really hard, so let's go for that. Also, video game warriors, I've recently released some new merch, some video game warrior t-shirts and video game warrior mugs. So if you enjoy the videos that I create and you enjoy the content that I create, please do consider buying some video game warrior t-shirts and some video game warrior mugs. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment and a link in the video description as well if you want to pop over and check it out. Thank you very much if you do. Right, let's jump on into this boss then. So what we'll do is, did we put the diamond ring on? Yes, we did. Awesome, that'll do. Head back through this portal. We probably could upgrade some of our weapons a little bit as well with some weapon skills. So maybe we'll take a look at that real quick while we are here. What I'll do is I'll just work through these dual swords, I think, and just unlock a few things as we work down this list. Just going to unlock whatever, really. Not really too fussed what we grab. Just going to bag all the stuff. It's also worth mentioning that there is an achievement for unlocking all skills on each of the weapons. I've already got it for this weapon here, so we are currently 12 out of 12 on the skills list here. But if you get 12 out of 12, you will get an achievement, and once again, you would get that for each of the weapons. So you want to be like working your way through these skills and unlocking them as you play through to bag all the achievements. But other than that, we'll jump into it. I'm probably going to use dual swords for this, but we'll see how it goes. Let's jump into the action. So I'm going to skip through the cutscene. And a lot of the time on this boss, some of his attacks are super quick, to be totally fair. So especially like the belly flop type attack, you can sort of dodge out of the way of a lot of them. Obviously try and get your Blood Raven in if possible, but if not, just try and dodge out of the way. You can just block a lot of the attacks, so just hold down block. Obviously you can't block the power attacks unless you do a Blood Raven block. He usually goes into a power attack after that sort of combo that he just did there, where he ended it with smashing two of his hands together on the floor. Usually goes into a power attack after that. For the belly flop, I think like perhaps like dodging forward might be good for it potentially. We can practice try that theory in a sec. See if he does it again. So this is the combo that I was talking about before. After the double sort of like fist pound into the floor, you can do a Blood Raven after that, because he's going to do a power attack. A lot of the time here I'm just holding down block. Ideally hoping for another belly flop just to test that theory, to see if we can dodge forward to avoid it, but he's decided not to do it, I don't think. But yeah, we'll try and get there's the belly flop, but no, I don't think we could really tried to go underneath it, but oh, you can as long as there's space, but there wasn't space before. There's another one. Yeah, so he's doing it loads now. I think it might have heard us and helped us test the theory, which is kind of him. Once again, if you can get your Blood Raven in during a power attack, absolutely go for it. I think for the belly flop though, it probably seems to be easier to try and like dodge forward underneath the actual belly flop itself. Because it seems that like if you try and get a power attack in specifically for the belly flop, it seems to miss a lot, at least in my experience anyway. That's the belly flop again. But like we tested earlier, I actually couldn't do that. I couldn't dodge underneath the belly flop earlier because we were like pressed against the wall, so we didn't really have enough room to dodge it. So just keep that in mind if you are using that tactic as well. Let's see what else it's got for us. And that's essentially most things in phase 1. Belly flop again. So yeah, it is nice of him to let us test that theory a lot. So I appreciate that. Boss fight. Brilliant, brilliant. So that is that. Just going to use a few potions and lotions here for phase 2. I think phase 2 is quite similar. You can do an ultimate level 2 like as these are dropping in, but I forgot we were locked onto the boss itself. So you can take these enemies out, or if you wanted to ignore them, the boss will do a lot of damage to them anyway, like throughout the fight. But I'm just gonna, just for the sake of like a clear camera, I just want to take them out just to make sure I can show you all the stuff and just get these guys out of the way. Let's try another ultimate. I'm not sure if ultimates, no, it seems to bounce off him quite a lot. So that's that. Let's get refocused back on the fight for phase 2. So a lot of the time I'm just blocking again. We can get a power attack in there, I mean a Blood Raven in there if we're fast enough to break the power attack. Not sure if we can get this to connect. So while he's doing that kind of like sort of like vomiting out additional enemies, you can charge the ultimate and then try and get the enemies like I just did the second time there. For that one specifically, he does like a crazy sort of like you know, flailing his arms and legs around for a little bit. So just stay clear. If he's kind of like laid on his back like that. Okay, let's. I just want to make sure that we're showing you, you know, I'm showing you all the bits and bobs that he's got to offer in this fight. So after that particular attack, he always seems to go into that sort of power attack, slow swipe. So we can punish that. And again, I'm just blocking a lot here. Nice. Managed to get a perfect block there. He's probably going to go into that. Yeah, so after that particular swipe, he tends to go into the power. So just watch out for that. He's gone into his vomit again. Once again, if you want to do this, you can sort of like back up and then... although we hit the dude by mistake. Go for the belly. Flop so we can dodge underneath it. I think that's most of the things that he does. I'm just going to use some Berserk here, just to take out these enemies. I don't think we're really missing much else. A lot of the time I'm just holding block for the most part. So once again, just holding block to avoid that. He's probably going to go into the power. He is, so just punish it with a Blood Raven. He's probably going to go into the power. He is, just punish it with a Blood Raven. Yeah, so I think that's like most of the bits and bobs that he can do. I just wanted to be thorough there and make sure that I showed you, you know, everything that you can do. You can also get some cool screenshots here and also here as well if you wanted to get a cool screenshot. So I'm just going to bag that real quick. But yeah, if you've got any questions or comments or, you know, stuff like that, then feel free to let us know in the comments, Video Game Warriors. If you've got any hints, tips or tricks of your own, you know, maybe you use a different weapon or you use a different tactic to defeat this boss, or anything of that nature, any hints, tips or tricks that you might have, feel free to let us know in the comments. They will help out other Video Game Warriors for sure. But other than that, Video Game Warriors, we're going to wrap up this episode here. Do pop the video a like if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos from me. Pop a comment. Let me know how you're getting on with Ninja Gaiden 4. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.